You'll see you perfect.
Hey guys, so just give me a second. Mark's going to be doing his lone vigil. Oh, yes. Sorry, Father.
Hey guys.
Hi guys, so as you can see, Mark's going to be doing his bird box challenge. He's going to be blindfolded in a room where we've just witnessed paranormal activity. All four of us saw that, didn't we? Pure poltergeist activity. Something got thrown off the sideboard, straight in front of us, proper power.
Directly at Mark.
And Mark said he was feeling weird. This is a room where people's been strangled. How do you feel?
So we went downstairs and we performed the Ouija board. Then we performed the spirit box session. My name was mentioned a couple of times. I don't know if you watched that video. It seems to be me that gets targeted when we're doing this spirit box session, so I'm not sure what that's about. A lot of orbs seem to be going into me rather than other team members and whatnot. So
K2 meters going wild next to
It's got my phone. My phone's on. It affects it live stream.
That far.
yeah. Also, as Carl's just mentioned, obviously, you know, a projectile's literally being thrown off the side.
See about this. Off the camera.
And
That.
I was literally I was stood next to it, just messing with the camera. There was nothing around it whatsoever, and it shot off. So powerful. There was nothing what could have done that. It's unexplainable.
Let's add that this room is where someone was actually strangled, a young child. He had an hand around his neck.
Yeah.
They were dragged out of bed, and the fingerprints were still there. Shadow beings are seen in this room. Myself, Mark, I don't know if you're doing it in here as well, Alex. Let's do it all.
Let's do it, man. I think.
Well, we're all going to do it. We're all going to do it. We're all going to see, but we're doing it live. We're going to sit here in darkness, pitch black. We're going to call out, and hopefully we all capture some interesting things. We're going to watch the video from the other room. We're going to take it in turns of coming in, and we're going to see what happens. Yeah. So I'm just going to set this up. If you just give me a second, guys, we'll get this underway, and we'll leave Mark to see what happens in this room.
Also, I've set up the laser grid, so watch out. If someone walks in front of that, obviously the laser, what you see on the wall, is going to disappear.
Sorry, guys, it's all set up. So yeah, it's going to be interesting, isn't it? God, these stupid things.
I'm really looking forward to seeing what we're going to get in after that.
So I don't know if you
I think we're there. Right, Jason, give me that other thing.
Come here.
Sorry, guys, it keeps falling over.
Sorted.
Yeah, but it's not on him now, is it?
No, but you can go like that way.
Okay. Oh yeah, lift it up then. Let's have a look there. Watch it don't tip off. Just turn light off and let's have a look at what we're working with here. Sorry about that, guys. It was a bit of right, we need a torch behind my camera so we're not going to see him. Wait up. I'm trying to turn this on. Where's
That's what you need on infrared, isn't it?
but I don't think I want to pick it up, will it?
No, I'm not sure.
No.
I don't feel on it.
Right, so we're going to have to put full blown torch behind.
Where's your torch?
Where's all them torches? Because we need to. We need to see them, don't we? Just turn light on. You'll just have a chat. I'll go get another torch.
You speak to him, Mark.
Yeah, just have a chat.
Right, guys. So I don't know if you've watched more Haunters, but they performed an investigation as well. There were two members of their team that come into this room, and a couple of things happened. So there were strange noises that were happening. TV come on out of nowhere. There was no explanation for that at all. They were that terrified that they left the room and spent the night in the back of their van. So, yeah, looking forward to it, but at the same time, I'm absolutely terrified. My hands are wet through with sweat. I'm not even kidding. I feel.
Well, this is what we do, guys. As I'm sure you're all aware.
So this is not just for us. It's obviously for our viewers. So yeah.
100 souls paranormal, it is fine.
Our sole purpose in all this, it's not for fame, it's not for money, it's our own personal hobby. We actually enjoy doing it, and we wanted to prove that there is something after you have died. That is our sole purpose in this. We don't want anything out of it other than some sort of proof, and that's all we strive to get in it.
Yeah, that's definitely
that is basically in the tail of it. We just want to prove that there's life after death. Then it makes this life a lot more enjoyable, knowing that obviously when you do die, there's nothing to fear.
I'm going to put this TV remote right next to Mark. As he's just said, when Most Haunted did an investigation and the TV did turn on all by itself with no explanation, this will do that. So I'm going to pop that right here next to Mark. So if anything does interact with him, if the telly does go on.
We'll put it on the other side just because the EMF detector when it's setting off a little bit.
Yeah.
It's actually going off now a little bit.
It's a bit wonky that, let me just sort it.
You got your phone in your pocket, Alex? So it's currently going off now.
So yeah, guys, obviously you're streaming, you're viewing this stream through Soul Reaper Paranormal. Obviously we're trying to get our name out there as we're a newly developed team. You might remember myself, I was actually part of Soul Reaper for quite a few investigations. So if you could, we'd really appreciate it if you could head over to obviously our YouTube channel, our Facebook, any of our social media. Just type in Conjured Souls Paranormal. You'll see the ghost logo. That's us. That's all you need to do. Like, subscribe, share. That's all we ask for.
I'm just trying to set it up.
Right, so Kyle's got the light.
See what this looks like. Is it any better?
Yes, that's great.
Oh wow.
Is that right? Yeah.
That'll do just on that, yeah.
I was trying to set it up right, so.
And again, guys, if you see anything, please do comment. We will read through all these comments afterwards. We're going to be watching this like you guys are in the other room, so we're going to see exactly what you see, just in case anything bad does happen. If something does attack Mark, obviously we can jump in, we can turn lights on, we can stop that, just so no danger just comes.
Does that dim a little bit?
You got a bit of life, Alden?
Just to add,
No, I mean,
I have
just
set
put
a laser
grid
grid in that corner. So if something physically walks in front of that, the green spots, what you see, are going to actually disappear. That's the laser grid. Right, I'll just give you an example of this. So I'm going to walk in front of it now. As you can see, it's gone. That means somebody has physically walked in front of the laser beam's path. So obviously that's one of the signs that we're looking for.
We're going then pod behind Mark. Put this on there.
Who's that?
Yeah, put passes off.
Should we put that near the door, that red pot?
Want it there so it's on camera so fans can see it going off. Right guys, we're gonna leave Mark here. We're gonna watch him from other room, and then we're gonna swap over every once in a while. So if you do see out, do comment. We'll try and comment from the other side. All right.
And I'll see you on the other side.
Yeah, he's definitely seeing the other side because after what I've just seen with my own eyes, for God's sake, a bracket flew off the side, went straight towards you, didn't it?
Yeah.
Right, John, I'll do it blindfold so we know you're not adjusting it. And this will be done by each person. So this is me tying it. You see how?
Seems to be over my eyes. Pull it down. Got my eyebrow up.
How's that? Is that?
Yeah, a little bit more. That's it.
Yeah.
I can just see light. That's it. Pull it tight. Just tight.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah.
Right. Let's roll. Jason, load it up on your phone, mate. We'll get it on the other room. So, what should we do? 15 minutes each?
You're joking.
15 minutes each, mate.
15 minutes each or until you...
Or until you pass out, yeah? So, guys, please share this video. Share it on the various pages. This is Paranormal Birdbox. Let's go. See you in a bit.
See ya. Yes, I believe everyone's left the room. Can't see a thing. So we'll begin. If there's anybody in this room, any spirits, could you please come forward and make contact with any of the devices that are around me right now? To either side of me, there is devices. If you come close to those, they will make a noise. It will make us aware of your presence. I know that there has been activity in this room prior to me coming to this place. And I know that you are quite capable of tackling physical forms. So please come into contact with whatever's around me. Manipulate any of the devices. Just make me aware of your presence. So to the side of me there's a device. There. If you literally just come into contact with that device, just as I have done, it will alarm and make a sound. Are you happy that I'm here? Maybe you'd like to come into contact with me. Touch, poke. Maybe you'd like to throw something again. Please come into contact. Come forward, spirit. Show us that you are there. Maybe you'd like to whisper into my ear. Maybe you'd like to speak into the device that is recording me right now. Make other people aware of your presence. Come forward, spirit. I know you've got the power. Show me again. Show me that you can do these things. If you'd like to use some of my energy, manipulate what is around me, come forward. Thank you. Oh, wow. Thank you. Can you please stop that? Can you please stop that? Spirit, stop. Wow. Thank you. Stop. Can you please stop interfering with the device? Thank you. So you made me aware that you are currently there. Could you maybe do that again? Please? Please do that again. Please manipulate the same device that you were just touching. Would you like to come into contact with me? Maybe on the camera you could appear as a ball of light in my hand. Just fly directly into my hand. Just for a bit of validation. Could you maybe tap on one of the cupboards or the drawers? Thank you. Thank you for that. Really appreciate that. Thank you. Could you please tap on one of the walls? just like this. Could you make any sort of a noise other than the device that is to the side of me? I said other than the device that is to the side of me. Could you please tap on one of the walls? On the bed? On the floor, the ceiling? One of the cupboards? Could you maybe affect the room temperature? It's been known that spirits can make you feel really cold. Could you maybe affect me? Not the device. Thank you for that. That's not what I'm asking for. Could you maybe come into contact with me? Maybe touch my right arm? My right arm? Please come forward, don't be afraid. I'm pretty open to this. Or if you prefer to touch one of the trigger objects that are around me. Some chairs, some dominoes behind me. Dominoes to the right of me. There's chairs to the left. Maybe if you'd like to touch one of those, knock it over. Show us that you are there, Spirit. Thank you. Thank you. Can you please stop that, Spirit? Spirit, can you please stop manipulating that device? Spirit, can you please stop that? I repeat, can you please stop that, Spirit, and affect one of the other devices in the room? So, manipulation to one of the devices that's to the side of me. I don't know which one it is. Obviously, can't see. Yeah, seems to be pretty strong too. Spirit, if you are there, will you stop affecting that device? Could you please stop affecting that device and maybe touch one of the trigger objects? Tap on the walls. The device that you're currently making contact with, I'd like to use that as a communication device. So 1 beep for yes, 2 beep for no. Can you please stop affecting the device now? And maybe answer a couple of questions that I may have for you. Spirit, stop affecting the device. I have questions that I'd like to ask you. Obviously, you've made yourself known. You've made us aware that your presence is there. Thank you. So I've got a couple of questions to ask now. So 1 beep for yes, 2 beeps for no. So are you a man? I'd like to repeat that question. Are you a man? Are you male? Come forward, Spirit. You've made us aware that you can manipulate that device, that you can come into contact with that. I'd really like it and appreciate it if you could answer my questions through the device. So it's 1 touch for yes and 2 touch for no. So just come into contact with the device that you've just been making sound off. Are you male? Yes. Weird sensation in my left arm. Can you please stop that?
Hey Mark, you've done.
This is going crazy, this.
Oh, we've just been watching everything. I mean, go that, mate. How do you feel?
Well,
that was sick. That was sick. We've just been watching for other room. We could hear noises going off everywhere, mate. Unbelievable.
My hands are
horrible.
Oh,
Sweating
I'm
out
not
there.
even, yeah, I felt something on my arm, on my left arm. I'm really shaking.
That was right good. We could hear EVPs coming through, and I don't know if you guys heard that, but we could hear EVPs coming through, and we heard banging coming from our room.
No way.
Swear to God.
No
Swear
way.
to God.
I'm dripping. Honestly, I'm wet through.
Absolutely nervous, like.
Yeah, I was nervous, but I just didn't want to move. I didn't want to spoil that validation.
It's going to be interesting to see what happens on the next one. But I just want to thank Mark from Conjured Souls Paranormal for taking part in this Birdbox paranormal experiment. We're looking for. I think Jason's in next, and he's going to approach his lone vigil differently.
Yeah.
He's coming in with intention to egg them on.
Right.
To see what happens. Obviously, then it's going to be Alex who's coming in, you know, with an open mind to the paranormal, and then I'm going to come in and I'm going to basically take the full force of what's happened.
Yeah. So I don't know if you can see my hands, but a little bit shaky.
It's shaking, aren't you? Shaking.
Yeah, definitely. You know, there were points in there where it's going off, and I really didn't want to be here, but I thought, you know what, it's proof. It's you guys that are watching, York viewers, and this is purely for you.
That was unbelievable. So Jason's coming in now, and what he's going to do, Jason.
What do you mean?
He's sweating.
Look at that.
He's sweating.
Yeah.
He's sweating like mad.
Yeah.
Yeah. Scary, Mark.
I'm not going to lie to you, mate. Hopefully that's the first paranormal bird box that's been conducted.
That's what got fired when we come back into the room. We were mentioning lone vigils. Mark was sat on a chair, and that fired from literally right in front of me. And it was like a bullet. It come off a spring. It just went boom, didn't it?
Right, guys, my turn. Decided, as the REM pod's been going off and off and off and off and off, just to debunk that it's not a battery issue. I have a brand new pack of batteries here. I'm going to open this in front of the camera. I'm going to change the battery on the REM pod. I'm going to go through the same as Mark's just been through. I've got a planchette from the Ouija board that we conducted earlier. This planchette is going to the table in front of me. Hopefully I can get this to shoot off towards me so you can all see. So I'm going to use that. Also, I have
That's the phone
an
charger.
EVP recorder, so I'm going to set this off as well, see if we can get any voices.
That must have been me.
Yeah, that scared me a bit, that. It fucking scared me. Right, so obviously I'm wanting these marbles to hit these dominoes, to knock the crucifix off, to knock the balls off, all these chairs. We need some sort of
validation. This room, guys, is a room where a child was strangled by an unseen force. Literally strangled, pulled to the floor, marks were on his neck. This hotel is available for you to book. We've spoke to the guy, he's happy for us to promote it. It costs you about £70 a night for the room. There's loads of different rooms, don't you say, about 6-7 different bedrooms?
Yeah, that laser grid's pointed towards me at the minute. It needs to be on that wall.
We'll sort that out in a minute.
Yeah.
But are you all
I think there's about 8 rooms or so.
So do you want to swap that battery in REM pod now?
Yeah.
So
Sorry guys, said I'm going to do something, didn't do it. That's me all over.
So he's just going to do that now, but
Right,
obviously,
so guys, pack it, open, fresh. And what we're going to do, just to debunk it, each time we come in, we're going to use a fresh battery. Right, so now it's my turn. Yellow alkaline battery. I'm going to switch it off. Obviously, the one what is coming out is a blue Tesco's battery. Out. Brand spanking new battery. I can get it in.
Put it in, pal.
I can't get it in, mate. Oh, it's in. It's fully in. Right.
Yeah.
So it's set up. It's just going to calibrate for a second. Obviously, that's just to get it set up. So I'll put it in now.
Just reset up.
So I'm going to press all 3 knobs.
And
That's reset it now, so that should not go off.
obviously, a little interesting device that Jason bought from Infrared. Basically, another REM pod. Totally different noise. I will just mention while we're here, after we've done this part, we're going to put a bit of kit on charge. And basically, in front of me, there's a big square mirror.
New battery.
Brand new.
Not a battery problem.
There's a brand new mirror there. And basically, we're going to do some mirror scrying. We're going to set 2 cameras up, looking into it with a candle. We're going to stare into it, 5 minutes apiece, and we're going to see if someone comes through. I've done this once before.
I'm going to sit there and go in again.
You want to put that over there?
There's nothing near that, so obviously this kind of says it's same.
Put that back on that wall behind the domino. So, if you want to sit your send down, Jason, I'm going to look at getting set up. Obviously, we'll do you 15 minutes.
I want you to move that laser grid so it's not firing me.
I'll do it in a minute. So, we'll do 15 minutes. So, don't start it yet, Mark and Alex. I'll start it once I come in room.
Right, let me just get this. Right, guys, I'm going to put this EVP recorder on. So, obviously, we were watching it in the room below, and we believe, not 100% sure, but we do believe that we've got some sort of EVP on the live stream. We can't be certain until we watch it back and obviously enhance audio so we can hear it better. But hopefully, we can get something on this, because this, in the past investigations, this has been fantastic. It's been one of the best EVP players I've ever used.
Yep.
And this is purchased from Amazon. Not dear at all. And it's been amazing what we've got on this. So hopefully it'll do the same job tonight.
And on that note, let's blindfold you. Once you turn that on. You set that
noise
on.
then.
What? Phone. Is that set off recording?
What's that noise?
Not phones. Tablet.
Whose phone?
Mine.
It needs to be off that.
It is. But there's a tablet there. Right.
That tablet's off.
Right. Are they there?
Yeah, move up. Don't forget to move the laser grid.
Can't have that because it's stream. Tell me when you're blinded.
Yeah, it's over my eyes.
Right. I'll do it tight so you can't move it.
All I can see is torch through it.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to close my eyes as well. So I'll
Right.
have to be able to
I'm
sense
just
it.
gonna just bear with me, guys. I'm just gonna turn this light off. I swear I'll stop bouncing. And on that note, guys, start that clock now, Mark.
See you on the other side, guys. Right, straight away, the temperature's changed to behind me. It's gone cold. I have just watched a live stream video with Mark. Sorry guys, I believe I've just heard a whisper to the left of me. I don't know if any of you else picked that up. Yeah, I have just been watching a live stream video with Mark, and he was asking for things to go off, those going off on command. I would like you to do the same for me. If there's any spirits in this room, any entity, being of any sort, could you please effect one of the devices that is around me at the moment? There is a marble on either side of each bed. Could you blow that, maybe touch it? What that'll do is make all the dominoes or the chairs knock over. It will also knock over the crucifix. Can you set off the device what you set off whilst Mark was in the room, please? Go on, I know you're able to do this. Give me some sort of sign to alert me of your presence. If needs be, throw something at me. Knock me off this chair. Put your arms around my neck, choke me, do what you've done before. We know you have energy because we have seen you knock things off this table. Prove what you're capable of doing. I don't believe you're able to do that. Come on, appear on the camera as an entity, a ball of light. Show us that the afterlife does exist. It's going cold to the right hand side of me right now, guys. Come on, say something. Show yourself on the camera as a ball of light, or entity, or full-blown apparition. Give us some sort of evidence. Could you set off this device at the left-hand side of me? The REM pod. Come on, take some of my energy and use it to do something. Throw the crucifix off the back of the bed behind me. If you're so powerful, if you have so much energy, do something, show us. Is there Deborah here with us? I know that you came from the Ouija board. that you had a message for us. If there's some sort of spirit there, make yourself known now. Throw something at me. I don't know what you guys can see on camera, but I'm feeling short of breath. Come on, knock something over. Why is it that you was able to do things when Mark was here? But now I've come, you're not doing anything. Do I make you feel weak? Is it because you know I'm not scared of you? Is that what you want me to be afraid? Well, if that's what you want, if you want me to fear you, do something what's going to make me fear you. Prove that you have power. Prove that you're intelligent. Prove that you do exist. Come on. Use my energy. Use the energy from the devices. Do something. Come on. Could you throw something at me? Speak into the camera. Do you like this? What's in my hand? Does this offend you in any sort of way? Show yourself on the camera. Come towards this crucifix of Jesus Christ. Show yourself as a ball of light. Come into this cross. I don't believe that you're able to do anything. I think you're weak. I'm not scared of you. I don't fear you. You haven't done anything to convince me of your presence whatsoever. Come on, I know you're there. Come on, I can feel you around me. Knock something off the bed behind me. I know you're there. Do something to alert me of your presence. Come on. I think you're boring. You're boring me now. Is there any point in being here? If you have the ability to throw things, you have the ability to pull somebody out of bed by the neck, and you have the ability to do something now. Prove me that you have the ability to still do that. Come on, prove to me. Prove that you're real. Prove that you can do something. Go near this device behind me, what you set off whilst Mark was in the room. Touch it. Make it alarm. This device has a magnetic bubble around it. Once that bubble is broken, the device will alarm and illuminate and alert me to your presence. If you are there and you have any sort of energy, you have any sort of power, you're able to touch things, move things, anything. Make that device go off now. Convince me that you are real. Convince me that I'm not here wasting my time. Could you maybe show yourself on camera? Speak into it. Speak into the device at the side of me. Make a knock. Bang. Clap. Could you maybe whistle? Why are you still in this building now? Why have you not left this place? Why are you just lingering around? Is there something you've lost?
Just me, pal. I'll only be a second.
How long about, pal?
Sorry, mate.
Is it done, yeah?
Yeah.
Can't open camera.
Right,
Right,
we could hear some noises coming from behind you and that.
I felt
Well,
something
no,
around at one point.
no rainfall activity, was there at all?
Not at all now.
Which is bizarre because obviously it seems to be targeted at Mark. However, what we're going to do next is bring Alex in. Alex is a skeptic. It's going to be really interesting to see what this guy picks up if it starts kicking off. Then obviously I'm going to come in, take the full force. However, if not happens for me, we're going to bring Mark back in. And if REM pod starts going out, we know for a fact then that they're attracted to him at night.
Yeah,
But
obviously, the battery that we used is here on the bed. This is Mark's battery. Maybe it'll faulty, maybe it isn't. But the battery, what's gone in there is a brand new battery.
Brand new, so you do it on camera. What I couldn't stop laughing at, mate. I don't know if you guys saw this, but it was sat there and we were just watching buzzing. And all of a sudden, this cross come up like this. I'm like, wow, what's going on? Just come out of nowhere. Like,
I feel I'm not meant for it.
What is going on? So, thanks a lot for Jason from Conjured Souls. Obviously, I'm here joining these guys tonight. This place, as I say, is basically good to book more or less all the time. We're in probably the worst 2 rooms, aren't we? There is a guy that watched us downstairs when we did the spirit boxes, and he's staying in room 6, and children have actually been witnessed, you know, roaming around that area. As I said, children's bodies were discovered outside because this place used to be an orphanage, but the priest who did it at the time discovered that it was too small to kind of run that, and it turned into an hotel. Really good places, loads of places up north. Get yourself up here, especially, I mean, the teams down south, Paranormal Voice, they've got some amazing castles, places like that. It's just unbelievable. Obviously, at the time, they were fighting with the French and things like that. There are always wars going off and things like that. But we're up north, where we belong.
Yeah, and obviously, there's my team, Conjured Souls, Kyle's team, Soul Reaper. Obviously, I'm an ex-member of Soul Reaper. My aim for this year is to travel around the country to as many places in the UK as possible with my team, and I want to do dual investigations, joint investigations, whatever you want to call it, with different teams. I have already got a couple arranged already, but it's something I would like to do throughout the whole year. I mean, on this video, I may have come across as ignorant and like disrespectful towards spirits, but it was all part of the agenda. What I wanted to do is basically manipulate this spirit. I wanted to disrespect it. I wanted to try and trigger it to be angry. I wanted something to be thrown, some sort of reaction from it. Not because I've got disrespect for it, because I come with the greatest respect.
That's what you want back in it.
Yeah,
you come
but
here.
I just wanted to like try and stir things up and obviously come with a different approach to how Mark approached it. Obviously, mine's completely different, so Alex is going to be different, Kyle's is going to be different. We've all got us each individual way of doing things.
I want to add that I do think that Mark felt a bit weird downstairs when he did that Ouija board. He said he just felt weird, didn't he, as we were coming up. He says, I feel weird. And then that thing shot. As again, guys, if you missed it, we recorded that on Jason's camera that we're rolling. You can't see it, but you can see Mark sat there and we jumped up. That's, as you can see, is like a little camera mount, you know, to hold things down. That shot off and the tripod flew over on the thing. It's on 3 legs. There were no way it could have happened. It fired off like a bullet, didn't it? Like, boom.
Yeah, on previous videos also what I've been editing lately, we've noticed a lot of orbs and things flying to Mark all the time, constantly. It looks like it's trying to drain his energy of something, but obviously he's come back from this Ouija board session drained, feeling like something's happened to him. All of us have come up perfectly fine.
But that's what, as you know, that's what happens to Mark on our team. Every video he'll be there and there'll just be orbs flying into him constantly. You know, Mark's come on a long way. He's on the same level as me. He's brilliant at what he does. And he gets the same thing.
Could it be though, Kyle?
Do orbs attack you because they know that person's easy to get energy off? Is it because they're more, I don't know, more susceptible? Mark and our team's one who has seen spirits with naked eye numerous times.
Everyone's got their own aura about them.
It's like me. I'm one of them people. I sit there and I can feel someone looking at me. You know, even when I'm walking about, I'll turn around and there'll be someone looking at me. I can feel that energy.
That's part of blindfold as well, so you can sense it around you.
I am going to feel it.
Yeah.
But next time we do these guys, we're going to do a blindfold and we're going to do earmuffs in. And that'll make even
wondering.
Worse. You just got no senses of it at all.
No. Just a scenario I'm thinking could be possible, could not be. I don't know. But obviously, Mark's been affected differently from the Ouija board, what we did earlier. Now, is it that it's drained Mark's energy and Mark's energy only?
I've just seen a bright light fly past you.
Has it made Mark vulnerable to spirit? Is that why Mark's been attacked when we're in this room? Is it why equipment is able to drain Mark's energy more efficiently than it is ours? We just don't know.
Or is it attached to Mark, perhaps?
Is it? Yeah.
Is it something that's fetched from a different place? I mean, like I said, this room, guys, is notorious. You know, it's a place where a child was strangled. You know, children's bodies have been discovered literally outside.
Just so you know, guys, this is still recording as well, so I'm going to turn it off now.
It's got about 5 hours worth of EVP to go through. It's absolute torture. And I mean, you are keen on EVP recorders, and as you know, guys, I'm one of them people. I believe that they can be catched on camera audio anyway.
Yeah, which they have been.
And that time you've got double validation, because not only is your camera rolling, you've got the exact moment that it's captured on camera. So you know you don't have to put time that it appeared or because it's already happening at that exact moment on camera. You don't have to miss about.
For me, electronical voice phenomenon, EVP, is obviously, it's clear evidence that there's something there, because if you're in a room silent, there's only you and you only in this room, there's nothing what could possibly speak to you, and you're hearing a voice. That shouldn't be there.
What about before though? We were on about AVPs as well. Charlene from Paranormal Hauntings put a post up about AVPs, and I wasn't really familiar with that term. You know, I've only been doing it properly for 2 years.
I think that's actually,
and that's where you actually hear it. And we've heard it tonight when we stood there behind us in the corridor.
So there's EVP, which is obviously electrical voice phenomenon. That's something what's going to be picked up from an electronic device, what can't be heard by the human ear.
And audible.
Yeah, and audible,
voice
like actual voice phenomenon, is something what you can hear with your own ears.
Yeah.
So that's the difference between the two, obviously.
And when you hear that, guys, you're pretty good. I mean, I did an ear test not long ago, and I discovered that I had the ears of a 13-year-old. It's not bad to say I'm 31.
Yeah.
So my ears are pretty good. I'm really good at hearing AVPs. So it's going to be interesting. But Alex, do you want to mention quickly about the
quite a lot of you guys, I've been reading your comments in room 7 next door. You've been noticing about our laser grid. It randomly turned off during Jason's vigil. Not sure why. I've had a quick check. The battery completely drained. Whether that's something taking the energy or that's just a battery.
On that note, guys, I didn't realise that, but obviously
we've got spares.
2 spare batteries here.
Let's change that now.
Yeah,
These are
we'll
650 batteries. So we're going to put these in. I did fully charge these. I don't know. Obviously, I've asked Spirit to use the energy from any devices around us. Are they going to be?
Whoa! I've just got a right gust of wind in my face. Did you feel that?
No, I didn't. No,
I didn't feel that.
Which battery is my yellow one? See, it's working perfectly again.
This
obviously,
is a fresh battery.
This is a fully charged battery, so there's no reason it should go off again, guys. But obviously, we do know that Spirit are able to manipulate devices and use the energy from them, don't we?
Exactly.
I swear to God, I got a full-blown gust of wind in my face, man. There's no windows open in here, guys. That's really high.
Yeah, sorry, that's a fresh battery.
Do you want to sit down then, Jason?
So I'm going to leave now. I'm going to go down to the room 7 bit below us. Obviously, I'm just going to watch Elvis long vigil goes with Alex, and I'm wanting some more M-Pod. I want to see that it wasn't just the battery or whatever. I want to, obviously, like Kyle says, if it's not the battery, then that will go back off again with somebody else. It's not going off for me. Could be something about me, I don't know. If it goes off for Alex now, that proves it's not the battery. If it doesn't, we're going to try Kyle, obviously. If it doesn't work for Kyle, fetch Mark back in, it works. Is it a coincidence? I don't know, but that's what we're wanting to see in it.
Right, let's go. Jason, I'll shout when I want you to say it off. So just tell him to start that timer as soon as I say it on camera. Yeah.
All right, mate, yeah.
All right. Right, so just what else?
Just before I left room 7, Jamie commented saying she hopes the spirit shits me up. So do I. I'll gear that one. It will make me believe.
So do you just want to explain to people why it is that you're in the paranormal and what changed your mind, and you know?
I wouldn't say my mind's changed yet.
So you kind of do believe in it, but you're not like fully believed.
What it is, I'm very interested in the history of places. Any place we go to is absolutely full of history. We've been to demon churches where sacrifices, Satanism, places like this.
Amazing location, isn't it?
Yeah, like places
middle of nowhere near Skegness. You basically go down this country road. There's a road straight up to it, surrounded by a cemetery.
Yeah.
And you're just in Farmers Fields, aren't you?
Yeah, you have to trek over Farmers Fields just to get to it. And places like this, it's just a pub to the naked eye. But then when you dive into it, orphanages, kids buried in the backyard.
You just won't think it from that side.
No, that's the bit I find fascinating. And then when you get the voices coming through on the spirit box that you can't explain, when you get things flying at your face, when you get orbs, if you say something flying to my hand and something flies into your hand on command. And then downstairs, I don't know if you guys watch, but Ouija boards. It just blows your mind.
That had some activity. I was warned by Julie from Equinox Paranormal. She's a really good friend of mine. She's looked after me in the past. She's seen things that have happened to me. She's crying when things have happened to me. She's predicted things. She's really, really good. Equinox Paranormal, give them a follow if you can. She told me to stay away from my Ouija boards. I've done that tonight. Even though I asked questions, I wasn't physically involved. I wasn't touching board. Yeah. But I've been there before. I've been near one and I've had things happen to me. And it's risky taking this game. You know, there's no such thing as going on an investigation not happening to you?
No, even if it's just on video, watching it back, there has always been something happening.
Affects you by bad luck, affects you by things happening. It's like early on, guys, just outside this room was a staircase going down with the little boys being seen calling for his mum. And at the opposite side, his mother's, well, we believe it's his mother's calling for her son.
That's what a
Are they
cleaner lady
connected?
said,
Are they
yeah.
connected? But we left a camera rolling on that staircase and we're getting off straight away. We put a doll on top, didn't we? Well, you put a doll on the REM pod, and straight away we're getting balls of light, not just like little bits of dust that just fly past. These were big balls. Pulsing balls of light, and they were swiggling about, coming straight to the camera. And then I saw that thing that like moved at the bottom, but you didn't see it.
I didn't
so that's going to be on there. And then when we come back to check, the camera had been turned to normal mode. So someone had physically switched the camera to it, full spectrum and gone to normal mode. And it was just red one, it screamed.
Yeah,
it was like,
you couldn't see it. I hope the footage turns out okay, but we won't know that until we review it all.
But are you all ready for this? Are you ready to see what happens? Remember, asking intelligent questions, ask about this place, why spirits are strangling people, why children are seen, did they get buried here? Just hammer it, mate. You never know what you're going to find. So just adjust it to your eyes, mate, and then I'll tell you. Because I've like strangled everybody with this. Is that good?
Yeah, I'm going to do it.
Yeah. I'll do it twice, so there's no adjusting it.
I'm going to close my eyes anyway, so it's pitch black.
Is that good?
I'm just going to put it over my ears.
I'll just get a quick REM pod test. And then obviously, where's over? That's that. And then obviously, guys, you know, we've got.
Where's that?
Remember Ghostbusters 3 is coming out this year? One of the best films ever. But yeah, sorry for worst dancing you've ever seen.
You danced and I missed it.
You missed it, it's like, one more. Right, I'll, hey, start that timer, boys. I'll see you in a minute. Right, are you ready, mate?
Let's do it. Just wait for Carl to leave the room. Right then, as Kyle was just saying, I'm talking directly to any spirits or presence that are in this room with me. All of our team, Conjured Souls Paranormals, we all have very different attitudes towards the paranormal. I'm very skeptical of the existence of any paranormal entities or anything along those lines, but I do approach this with a very open mind. So if anyone out there would like to prove to me by perhaps affecting any of the objects in this room, please feel free to do so. It might scare me a little bit, but I would love to know if there is anything out there. And by that you could be proving for me. If you'd like to interact with any of the REM pods, like you did with Mark. Or if you'd like to interact with Mark, who's currently in room 7. I know room 7 is quite active. We've been reading up on this place, and it used to be an orphanage. Are you from that time period? Are you stuck here? Perhaps if you could interact with the REM pods that are somewhere towards this side. One beep for yes, 2 beeps for no. We've got the name Deborah downstairs when we did a Ouija board, very clearly Deborah. Or Debbie, something along those lines. Is Debbie or Deborah there with me today? Are you in this room? Very eerily quiet in there. I was expecting big things from coming here after what happened to Mark. If you have a connection to Mark, one of the members of our team, Conjured Souls Paranormals, can you interfere with one of the objects in this room just to tell me yes? Or perhaps if you'd like Mark to come back in, I can arrange that for you, no problems. Again, if you interact with it, we can get Mark back in here if you do want to communicate a message to him. Is there a spirit here that strangled a boy? Are you still in this room? Are you stuck in this room? Why is it that you targeted a child? What was that? So it just went off. I think it's one of the phones. Scared me a little bit. Why is it that you targeted a child? Why did you not target an adult? Because there were physical evidence there of strangle marks on his neck. So I do believe that something did happen there, because there is physical evidence. You cannot deny that. But why was it a child that you targeted and not an adult? What's your opinion on our paranormal teams? Does it insult you that I don't believe? I know it would insult me if someone didn't think I was real, didn't think I existed. You might think I'm quite narrow-minded. This would be a great opportunity to prove me wrong, that there is something out there. As I said, I have approached this with a very open mind. Would you like us to use a spirit box? Would that be easier for you to communicate? What about a Ouija board? Would you like us to do another Ouija board? We got some great responses downstairs. We had a great conversation over the Ouija board. Would you like us to do that again? Just give me a sign, we can do that. Or perhaps you could give the guys next door a sign. Maybe flicker the lights on and off. I know you guys won't see that on camera, but that would be great if they could just communicate that. Sorry, this is really tight on my eyes. I'm just moving it around a little bit. If you don't like to interact with any of the objects behind me, perhaps you could knock on the walls, knock on the floors, maybe give me a quick tap on the shoulder. I'm fine with that, just to say hello. Or could you just give me a simple yes or no answer? Is there life after death? Are you the lady who's looking for a child? Or perhaps are you the child looking for the lady that's been seen? On the stairs outside, I was talking to somebody. I was asking for things to appear as balls of light, and on command balls of light appeared, flew into my hands like I asked. Was that you? Was that you is that your way of communicating with me? Or is it that you've attached a Mark? Is it Mark that you want to communicate with? Because he had great results from the REM pod. He had balls of light coming across the camera when I was watching in the other room. Is it Mark that you want to communicate with? Are you attached to him somehow? If you are attached to Mark, because we have had the best results from him, can you just interact with any of the objects in this room? Perhaps interfere with the laser grid. All you have to do is walk in front of it. It's somewhere in that direction over there. Or if you'd like to whisper in my ear. Why is it that you're stuck here? Why can't you move on if there is anything here? Why is it that you're specifically stuck to this place? Did something terrible happen here? I do know there has been bones found in the backyard. Are you stuck here because your remains are here? I suppose with a place as old as this, it will have history to it, will have negative things that have happened. And I am truly sorry for that if you have been involved in any of those negative things. But we're not here to harm you. Our sole purpose is to prove the existence of the paranormal, to prove there is another life after death. I cannot see you, so if you do want to appear, I won't see you, I won't see you. Just appear for the cameras. Don't be shy. Nothing bad's going to happen to you. As I said, we're not here to harm you. We're not going to try and move you on. We're just coming to say hello and just to try and interact with you. That is all that we're here for. We are going to be in these rooms all night. Are you planning on interacting with us later when we're asleep, when we can't control anything, when we're just laid there? If you are planning on doing something later, perhaps you could interact with the REM pod like you did with Mark. Just make it go off once or twice. We saw some great results from that other room when we were watching when Mark did his lone vigil in here. You really did enjoy playing with that REM pod, even when Mark were telling you to stop. You were being defiant. You were saying, no, I want to play with this. That's great. It's if you want to, it's a toy for you to play with. Go for it. We don't mind. You could just set it off. Why is it that you don't want to show yourself to me? Is it because I am quite close-minded with it? After that Ouija board downstairs, this is the most paranormal evidence I've ever seen in any other investigation I've been on. This is the best one I've been on. I've physically seen something thrown across the room. We've had a Ouija board. I've had the most responses I've ever had off it. We literally had a conversation with somebody. Why is it now that you don't want to show yourself or interact with me? Downstairs, someone was very keen. They had an obvious message to put across to us. We got told to stop. Why is it that we got told to stop? Is there something dangerous that's going to happen to us if we do sleep tonight? We've seen videos from previous teams that have been here where you scared them literally out of the building. They wouldn't dare spend the night in here. They spent the night in the van because you scared them that much. So I do know that you are very powerful. You are very capable of doing that. So if you would like to knock a crucifix off behind me on both sides of the bed, where I've got some child's toys. We've got marbles, we've got dominoes, we've got chairs, we've got balls, we've got a crucifix. If you want to knock any of those, it won't take much energy to knock those dominoes over. Even if you just blow on it, even if you just give it a slight tap, it will cause a chain reaction and knock the rest down. Is there anything we can do to help you? Is there any messages you'd like us to get across to anybody? If you can communicate that in your own way to us, we can pass that message on. Just did a tap. It was literally, I don't know if that's, just stay quiet for a few seconds. Was that you trying to communicate with me through tapping on something? If it is, can you please tap again? I don't know what's going on around me, if there's any orbs, if there's any shapes or anything like that. I am getting quite a burning feeling towards my rear right ear. Is that something trying to get in contact with me? Is that your way of doing so? It's a very, very warm feeling. If that is, that's great. Feel free to try and get in contact with me somehow. Can you perhaps shake the chair I'm sitting on? Can you interact with anything? Perhaps you can whisper into the camera. What went on when this place was an orphanage? Was it a nice place to live? Did terrible things happen here by members of staff to children? We've just heard another tap. Is that you trying to communicate with me through single taps? Does one tap mean yes, two taps mean no? I'm not sure if the camera's picking out, but it's literally just a tap like. I assure you, if we go out of this room, there's stairs that you go down to get to room 7, so it's definitely not coming from anything else. And we're the only people staying on this section of the corridor. It's literally ours. It's a really small hotel. This it only sleeps 15 people at maximum capacity. There's only 6 rooms, which is quite random since we're in room 8, but there's only 6 rooms. Not sure what reasoning behind that one. We're just talking to the bar manager downstairs. don't know. Is it to do with my mind frame? The fact that I'm not a full believer, where I know Mark is very much a believer, that you'd rather interact with him than me? Is it because he's tired, perhaps? Like you find it easier to use his energy? Is he more open to letting you in? Just give me some sort of sign you're there, that's all I ask. Just some sort of sign. I know you're capable of doing it, and we have seen it. I was watching from next door in room 7, so I know that you can do it. Just set off a REM pod. Move the crucifix. Nothing that we brought with us today will hurt you, I promise you that. It's only here just to capture evidence that there is life after death. We come very respectfully. We are very empathetic if something did happen to you here. We are very, very sorry about that. We're not here to draw attention to what happened. All we'd like is for you to just accept us for being here and just have a little bit of an interaction with us. It's very silent in here. I'm not hearing anything. I don't know if guys are getting anything in the other room. I'm sure they'll tell me. We've got Kyle coming in next from Soul Reaper. He's very much a believer in the paranormal. Would you like to communicate with him? He believes it's real. He's seen things with his own eyes. Would you like to communicate with Kyle? Whoa, fucking hell. I ate something has just stroked my neck. That was strange. That was very strange.
Hey Alex, that's your
What
one here.
the fuck?
You should have said.
No, mate.
Mate, we could hear banging going off everything.
Mate, something's just stroked my fucking neck.
What did I say? That thing come, someone grabbed my leg.
Mate, if that was you, sorry if these guys have just interrupted you there. Thank you for that. Honestly, thank you.
Oh, that's definitely moved.
Yeah.
That one.
It has.
Everybody said, guys, you've seen we've not been in this room.
That was
That
brilliant.
straw that is there on that wall. I'm pretty sure that was pointed there.
To the back of the wall, yeah.
I didn't see
That
that.
was pointed like that. So it won't touching you, it was on that back wall.
Something's just literally ran down my neck there. If that were you communicating with me, thank you very much.
Unless, guys, I forgot to adjust it, but I'm pretty sure
I put it there. I put it there. It was shining in your eyes, if you remember, when you were sat here.
Yeah.
That was awesome. Sound. Cheers for that.
So have you found it then?
It was.
We heard some noises coming from camera.
I
We don't know
didn't.
if you were a moving chair.
I heard
Listen,
taps.
just move about on there then.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is a creaky chair.
Sorry guys, it looks a bit blurry that. Let me just get a wipe.
But I did definitely feel that's the first time I've ever been touched by anything, and something did definitely touch me.
It does look blurry.
It took me by surprise. It did. It definitely took me by surprise. I wasn't expecting.
It does look blurry that. Let me just get a quick wipe. Sorry guys, I'm just gonna get a quick wipe. Looks a bit better, I suppose. But yeah, I'm pretty looking forward to seeing what we've got on these things. You know, when you listen back to EVP, it's like it's going to be a long watch, but you know, it's one of them things. As I said, after I've been on next, we're going to see if anything kicks off. If it don't, Mark's coming back in for 5 minutes.
So I just want to say thank you for your vote, guys.
Have they been sailing you?
Yeah. I'm aware that a lot of you have voted me to come back in, and I'm definitely willing to do that. Obviously, it's for you guys. It's for the public purposes. It's for us to be able to prove that there is some existence out there. Obviously, after we die, and that we do live on. Very happy to do that. So that's what I'll be doing afterwards, unless Kyle obviously gets a little bit more validation than what I've got.
As you know, guys, let's go to that game.
Feel free to change your mind if Kyle does get that little bit more validation.
Don't guys, don't do it to me, please. Don't. Not somewhere we're strangled. I'm going to do it differently because this room is a place where a child was strangled. I've decided that I'm going to lay on bed. This is where a kid was strangled and pulled out of bed.
Yeah,
so we're going to mix it up. We're going to see if I can get a reaction that way. If I die, I love you all. I'm sorry. I would die. I would die.
But as
I'm going to try it.
As Soul Reaper says, their slogan is,
"Death is not the end."
that is not the end.
It's just the beginning. It's just the beginning. And obviously, you all know that life's a journey. We've got no idea how we got here. It's all theory based. A big explosion. If a big explosion happened, how did it happen? Because nothing existed. There were no rocks floating about. There were no gases. It's too big for the brain to understand, isn't it?
So which bed do you plan to lay in?
I don't know. I think that one, because that's where REM pod's been going on. Obviously, what we'll do is we'll pull this chair up to the corner, put REM pod on there, so it's out that way. I'm just going to come in firing. You guys have seen that Wentworth Woodhouse video where I walked through, well, underneath some stairs, and that demonic black shadow hissed at me like a cat. But just before that, a boy was captured and he run through the wall and he literally ended up in that corridor that I went down. Yeah. So did this spirit know? Did it read my mind that I was going to go down that corridor before I made that decision, and it waited for me? Did it trick me into thinking I was going to meet a boy? I don't know. I didn't see this until I'd reviewed footage.
Bloody hair again.
And
like a tickling.
What was that?
Not before, man.
And it got me. It just waited. But I'm not looking forward to this at all. I usually get attacked. I don't know if it's my own mind, just full blown think. I've had spirits touch me. I've had spirits grab my trousers. I've had spirits show themselves in front of me. If you check us out on Instagram, Soul Reaper Paranormal, you'll see various pictures that we've captured during investigations, usually on abandoned Victorian mills. It's a place where a lot of death happened. We've got someone that looks like an alien, I showed you earlier. Yeah. But obviously, now what's happened since Mark's left this room, obviously that thing threw straight at him, so straight away.
I don't know about that, I felt something touch me then. Something did touch me.
I feel like...
you look like you've eased up a bit.
Yeah, it took me a good, at least, when Jason come in, Alice come in, I've literally just recovered from how I felt before, and I was left here and I was shaking.
When Mark came, I'd been in room 7 answering all your comments, and when Mark came in, he was pale as a ghost. I'm sorry to use that phrase, but he was honestly pale. He went straight into the toilet and just had 2 minutes to himself. Like it affected him what happened in here.
But it's something I'm passionate about. It's something I really want that evidence. And for me, just that little bit of validation was somewhat significant tonight. Obviously, whatever went off, we're on command. Really enjoyed it. I can't wait for my next one. Obviously, if Kyle gets a lot more validation than what I get, then it's down to him.
Or maybe both of you come in.
We're on about later, guys. We're going to try something different that we've not done at live stream. And I'm thinking, we're going to do a bit of mirror scrying for ourselves.
Yeah.
But then maybe we can do it for fans if we can figure a way out. Because it's going to be dark. Yeah. But with candlelight, if we get close enough to the mirror and just like put it on a tripod, just so camera's not reflecting off mirror, just so you can see light. If all does manifest, people at home can watch what we're doing. It's something different. This is what it's about, guys. We love this stuff. I had a brother who, he fell into a river in Leeds, he drowned and he died, and I found him 6 months later in Selby. He went a long way. I've had him come through when I first met Julie from Equinox. She got him through, and when I went to that house, she were on about someone who'd committed suicide, and it just didn't relate at the time. And then when I look back, it's exactly what happened. It relates to me. She's been really good at predicting things. She helped us out on this public investigation. We were in chat. It's Fate magazine. Without you, I'm here to help these guys. Need you to subscribe, need you to follow the channel. We're doing well. They're going all over the UK, and that's what we're here for. We're all friends, and let's see what happens on this bed. I'm just dreading it.
And maybe if you guys do want both Kyle and Mark to be in here, if we do get some action with Kyle, then I'm sure that's something that they're both up for, to use both of their energies.
We'll have to put 2 phones on. We'll have to put one on you, one on me, and kind of like zigzag.
You'll have them both if someone's sat here and someone's laid on that
side.
You'll literally
we need one phone because we need other phone really to watch it, don't we?
But all you guys need to do is just add those comments at the bottom and just let us know what you want. Obviously, it's a public vote. We're down for that.
We are thinking and all. A human pendulum is an experiment I wrote down. It's something we've never done. Basically, what I'm thinking is that we've all got blindfolds, haven't we?
Yeah.
We've all got blindfolds. So maybe if we all blindfold ourselves and put someone in the middle of the room where that chair is, we just all hold hands and we leave him in the middle. Let's just see if he swears. Let's see if that person swears. Obviously, it's going to be him. That's sorted. But let's get me sorted then. See what I get.
Just before we go as well, we are looking at obviously doing like a little bit of a Ouija board session as well afterwards. We're going to put a little bit of a table in between. And we're going to put our blindfolds on. We're going to have a little bird box challenge on a Ouija board. So obviously, whatever does come out of that, we're not going to know where that Ouija board's going. It's basically going to be down to you guys.
Any questions?
Let us know what letters that's going to. Numbers, yes, no, goodbye, whatever. Obviously, we will end the session with the greatest respect. We'll go goodbye and so forth. But it is basically, we're not going to know what's happening. Okay, it's literally down to you guys as a public to let us know what's happening.
And that also proves it's not us pushing it. If none of us can see what is happening, if it's going on its own, it's nothing to do with
Exactly.
us.
And I just want to add that this paranormal field, you know, I was at army. Someone from my own town was killed, and I was in Afghanistan at the time, and it opens your mind. So I started watching Ghost Adventures. I watched things before, you know, when paranormal, Most Haunted used to do live webcams. I grew up watching that. I was interested in our internet. Like say, so much just happened. My granddad's mum was a psychic medium. She used to have people around the house, and she used to predict horse racing results.
Yeah.
She once talked like a man. My granddad said he didn't believe till he saw a cat run around all four walls without touching floor. My family's history goes deep, really, really deep. My mum and sister's got their own team in Burnley called Dark Dreams Paranormal. Obviously, Jamie Lee Taplin, one of his biggest fans, she's got her own group, which you guys are going to be working with in the future.
Absolutely fantastic team. We've been looking at what they've been doing and stuff, and we're really looking forward to spending that bit of time with them, conducting those investigations. We'll be going up to where obviously witches perform.
Pendle.
Exactly, yeah.
Just get ready for walk.
Absolutely
Get ready for walk because
fantastic.
it's like that. But when you go in, there's a big witch stood outside the road.
Yeah.
You need a picture where everybody takes a picture. It says,
That's obviously an area that we've not explored yet, and we're really looking forward to doing stuff like that. And it's just absolutely fantastic. I can't even begin to explain how amazing and overwhelmed that we feel as a team, Conjured Souls Paranormal, just to be able to experience that sort of thing with that team.
and best thing about us guys is we all work together as well. You know, these two are in charge of us kind of, and obviously Jason thinks he's Mark's boss now, which is pretty cool. But it's true, isn't it? It's true.
We'll see when we get back.
Jason.
He'll be watching that next door. He'll say something when we go next door now.
But let's do this. Let's get this hammered. Let's see. You need to position this now.
Yep.
Set up and I'll tie
I want
up.
to need a pillar. I want to need a pillar, Anna.
We've moved them.
So the pillars are in the cupboard.
Oh, I'm dreading this. I'm dreading it.
Just
I
lay
just
down.
know I'm gonna feel something.
Lay down so you know where your head's gonna go.
There you go.
Oh,
One or two.
2 minutes.
Two, yep.
I'm dreading this. Oh god. This is wrong way. I might, if I get strangled, you need to come
I'm just
straight.
gonna watch it live for you boys. I know you're gonna forget charger. And he's no dead, so.
Yeah.
Oh, it's not, we've already got that in mind. Don't worry about that.
No.
No, charge again. Remember.
Sorry guys, for what I'm live streaming off downstairs, it's no dead. And I told him to get charger right, and it's completely past the line, so I've had to come up just to take charge.
Take charge.
And in this game, I am Mark's boss.
He thinks. You got it.
Right then guys, I have reset the laser grid. That's now shining directly on Kyle. It had moved. No idea why it had moved. It was just me in room. So that's now facing Kyle directly. I don't know if you can see it against me, but there are spots on me. So we are going to see anything that's moved.
Let's do it with crap haircut.
And Kyle's took it that off.
It's not what's going up. Oh my god, this is horrible.
Oh, it is. It's not great.
This is gonna be horrendous. If I scream or something happens, boys, you coming in. Yeah.
Let's do it.
Yeah, we'll definitely come in. 100%. Just like you did when Rempod when I went off.
Yeah, but you're getting good shit. I definitely can't see that.
Right then guys, we're going next door now.
Can you see me? Turn
Yeah.
light off and just test camera.
Just remember, if you change your mind, guys, so whether you want to be in here after Kyle, please don't hesitate to comment.
This torch has gone off.
Right, that's it. You need to aim it down now.
See you on the other side, guys.
Is that it? Is that it?
I'm still here, mate. Trying to...
Just touch shouting when you're ready to.
There you go. So now you can see Kyle. He's got that crucifix right above his head. It'll be interesting if Owen interacts with that.
Yeah, I don't want to.
So,
Avoid the brain injury, guys. Can't deal with that.
so Jason, Mark, start that timer now. We'll see you in 15 minutes. Let's go. See you on the other side. We're going now.
Right, guys. So I'm going to give these guys a few moments, and then I'll I'll make my presence known and we'll see who's around us. I don't like doing these lone vigils. You guys always vote for me whenever I put a poll up. So next time we're on about getting James doing it. He's got really good, James, to be honest. He's really good into it now. He's growing more and more with his confidence, and it's something we're looking forward to seeing. So I think I'm going to start by trying to communicate with the spirit that associated with Mark. If you are here tonight, can you start by trying to do something in this room to make me aware of your presence? I don't mean touch me. I mean make a sound, set off a device. Just let me know that you are here. I mean, you no disrespect, but in return, I expect that back. We've travelled an hour and a half to come here tonight in order to try and communicate. If you know who I am, if you're connected in any way, we're here to document proof that when we die, it's not the end. Life goes on and people should not be afraid. It's amazing that we're here. And that's what we need to see tonight. When Mark was in this room, you did nothing but set off that REM pod, which is that device on the chair right there. We know that a boy was once strangled in this room, taken to the floor by his throat. Why would you do that to a person? We know that this place was once an orphanage. We know that people had lost parents and they got put here. The priest made the decision to change this building from a manor house. Even visitors that have come to this place have reported ghostly happenings and paranormal activity. Why do you remain? Are you lost? Can you not see the light? Who was it that threw the projectile at Mark before he began his lone vigil? It's just a strange thing that you've done. You've done nothing wrong to you. I really enjoy this building. It's such a peaceful place at times. I want to know about why you're still here. Why do you remain? Is there something that you need to move on? Are you the child that lost his mother that calls out? Or are you the woman that's looking for a son that's calling out from the opposite side of the building? This little device at the side of me is called a REM pod. I'm going to try and touch it because I can't see what it is. That's me. When that goes off, can you set it off? You know how it works. You've done it numerous times. If you can give me that little sign that you are present, I will know that there's someone intelligent that's willing to communicate tonight. As I mentioned earlier, we will be performing a mirror scrying session. We are hoping that you will try and show yourself tonight. I know that shadow beings are often seen in this room. And I have actually seen these with the naked eye. I witnessed one at East Drive, at 30 East Drive, the home of Europe's most violent poltergeist. I was sat in the small bedroom directly across from the bathroom, and I saw you stood on the landing. You failed to acknowledge me. You did not realise I was there. You just stared away from me before fading away. Are you from another dimension? Are you from another place? Are you still alive and it's us that's dead? Whoa. What?
Hey Kyle, yeah, I had to bust him because the light's gone.
What light?
You can't see you at all. Hot light feed. Light. That light there. So I'm going to set up another torch so they can see it. Because light feed's pitch black, mate. We have to do it.
I proper crap my pants then. You know,
Sorry guys, obviously as you've seen, light's going out. You can't see nothing. It's no good to us.
God, proper crap my pants then, man. I thought something like coming up.
No, because you can't see nothing on live stream. There's no point doing it. You can't see it.
That's about to go up torch, man. Oh Jesus.
Right, we've got reinforcements.
Oh, I'm scared of that. I proper thought something.
No, we're opening an iron limit to disturb it, but obviously.
You have to, you can't leave it in jet lag.
That's what I mean. I says we can't just.
What you done for stream?
No, I just left it rolling, like, it's still on. So what's some torches here, like?
All you need to do is put a battery in that. Listen, put a battery in that.
What battery does it take?
Normal round battery, yeah. That one thing, that yellow one, yeah.
Oh, that?
Yeah, that's a little battery.
What is it, just in air?
It swizzles off end. Sorry guys for about that, battery's just died. Yeah, pass it out.
Obviously,
pass us
these
back.
things happen. What can we do?
Just been reading some of your comments next door, guys. A lot of you have noticed that 2 separate devices, the batteries have drained just like that. Why that's happened, how that's happened.
I must admit, I felt really, really peaceful then.
Really peaceful.
Like, no, I didn't even know where I was. Yeah. I just felt relaxed.
That is something what Alex just mentioned as well. That is something we've really noticed on every single investigation. No matter what happens, every single battery on every piece of equipment drains.
Can I tell you something? When we first started, we used to get the same thing. I don't know if it's an easy target for them because they know you just start doing this game or what, but eventually as you go on, it happens less and less. Yeah. And I don't know. I think that once they realise that you know who they are and sort of things, they stop doing it.
Is it triple A or
double A? Double A, mate.
And it's great that the spirits are doing this. As I said, we are literally, we are literally here to just interact with spirits, just to see if there is anything there. And if they do want to use our batteries, if that is a good way of charging up, please feel free to do so. We've brought plenty of spares. If you need that to interact with Kyle or any of us, use them, we don't mind, honestly, just anyone in here.
You know what they say, when you're interacting, you're giving spirits permission to use energy. Not always going to take your batteries. They can go for other things as well. Yeah. You get a lot of people getting affected, you know, with no energy and things like that, right?
Saying that, what Kyle just said, I've been on investigations. I have been on investigations, got home, felt absolutely drained, starving, hungry, no energy whatsoever. I've gone to sleep and I've woke up 14, 15 hours later. And that's not for me because I'm somebody who lives off literally 5 hours sleep a day.
Just turn the light off, Jason.
I'm just going to do a quick test just to see if this battery's in right position. There we go. That's spot on.
Oh, it smells better, that.
Sorted.
Right, let's
see you on the other side.
This is completely dead. We're going to leave that one just because we haven't got any more replacements. A fresh battery that were charged, completely drained. Right then, guys, we're going to leave you now. We're going to resume Kyle's timer, guys, into the room. We'll see you on the other side.
Oh, did you stop it?
Yeah. Don't worry, we're going to make sure you have your full time. Don't worry about that.
Oh.
See you later.
It's all right. So as you've seen, guys, that's what makes you in on his team. They didn't just say, oh my God, battery's gone, something's happened, it's paranormal. Battery drained. Rather, it's run out because it's been on for like 45 minutes, solid, or something's drained it. But these guys have replaced it, and it feels a lot brighter in here, even though I can't see anything. It just feels a lot warmer. I feel at peace. Spirits, I want to know if you're aware who we are. This device called a REM pod. You've affected it for Mark, and it's going to be really interesting to see if you can do that again once it comes in, because we're going to have to send him back in order to communicate. If that's something that you want and you need to see him, or you're connected in any way, could you just give me one beep just to make me aware that you are here? As I've said, my name is Kyle and I'm from Soul Reaper Paranormal, and we have our own team. However, tonight, only myself has travelled up to this place because the other guys are working pretty early. Is it something you look forward to meeting us again as a team? Is this someplace we should come in the future? Could you maybe give me a sign? Could you maybe copy this? I'll try it again. A few years ago, a paranormal team called Most Haunted came to this building. A woman called Yvette Fielding, a psychic medium called Dedica Cora, stepped foot in this place. Can you remember them? Whoa. Someone's here. I can feel it. There. There's so much shuffling about. As soon as I mentioned Most Haunted, I kind of got a little response. I don't know if it was someone else in the building. If you know what I'm on about, can you do something else, something a bit louder? I mean, in no disrespect whatsoever. I've come here tonight trying to document proof that when we die, it's not the end. Can you show yourself as a ball of light? Could you fly towards my hand right now on camera? Could you touch me on the hand? Could you put your arm on mine like that, hand to hand? Could you do that right now? Are you a child? Are you someone that could possibly push these dominoes on the top of the bed? Could you move a marble? Do whatever you can to show me that you're here. I'm just here to document proof. Many people are scared of dying. People want to know what happens. Do we just die and it's jet black and nothing exists and we forget that we were here? Are we reincarnated instantly? As soon as we die, are we born as another child? Because that's my theory. I think it's amazing that we're here, and I do believe that once we die, we rather get born back into the same family or we're reborn somewhere else on earth. And if heaven exists, then surely you've got to live your life in every single possibility, because the amount of billions of people that will have died in this world would not fit in heaven. It'd be too busy. Maybe you've got to live your life as a poor man, a rich man, someone in every country, someone in every city, someone in every town, every village. Maybe you've got to do everything that's physically possible as a human before you go to heaven. Maybe you've got to be born in the same village. Maybe you've got to be poor in the village. You've got to be rich in the village. You've got to get done for murder. You've got to get done for being a criminal. You've got to get done for doing something bad. You've got to be known for being famous, being a singer. Maybe you have to do every one of those things from that place, and in the next city, and the next city, and the next country. The list could go on forever. If heaven exists, you must do something truly special to get there. Am I right? Could you give me a sign? I know that you might not want to communicate with us tonight, but you have shown yourself to us. You spoke to us. I just want proof that you're here. I just need to know that you're aware. It's all we're after tonight. I know you're not, we always say, we're not here to hurt you, but obviously we can't hurt you because we can't see you, we can't feel you, and if we do, I think we're extremely lucky. It must make you laugh when people say, we're not here to hurt you, because I'd be laughing. I'd be like, yeah, they can't even see me, so how are they going to hurt me? That's what you must think. But are we dead? Are we actually trying to communicate with the living? The people that we're reaching out to, are you investigators? Are we dead? And the voices that you're getting on your spirit box, is that us? Trying to give you a message saying, spirit, ghost, my name, Kyle. These things that come from your boxes, is that us? Can you copy this if that's correct? Where's that gone? Come on. I'm not sure how long I've got, but you need to do something right now. If you are so evil that you pulled the child out of bed by his throat, I need you to do it right now. I'm not afraid of you. I've seen beings like you before, with the naked eye. I've been touched by spirits, I've seen spirits. I've experienced things that not many people have. There. What did you think about the priest changing this building to an orphanage? I want to know more. I want to know why children were found in the garden outside. Is that because they had nowhere to go and it was the cheapest option just to bury them? That's what I think you've done. Were these people that you'd actually been killed here? And they were just chucked in the garden out of the way? I just want answers, guys. I'm trying to prove it not only to myself, but to people that watch these videos. Just don't be afraid of anything that people say to you. I just want to know what you need. The spirit boxes help you. Is that why you communicate with us? We heard a woman screaming on a live stream earlier on. After the Ouija board, the name Deborah was coming through. We heard Mark on numerous occasions. We heard the name of another paranormal investigator that I used to work with come through. Conjured souls are friends of mine. And they're trying to do the same thing. They're trying to get out there. They're trying to make people aware that this work is real. It's not for profit, it's for the enjoyment. We're here to get that fear factor in us. We're here to prove to people that when we die, something else happens. We've all lost people that we care about. We all know people that's died and have gone through pain because they don't know what the answers are in life. We just want to tell people and show people. We can't do it without you. Does that make sense? Does it really? Could you just say yes out loud and then I know and I'll stop asking questions? Come on, build it. Build that energy. Say it now. I know you can do it because I've heard it numerous times, various locations. I've got a few more lives to do tonight. It's going to be early morning. But I might as well make most of the time that we are here. Is that okay? Do you have a problem with that? We're going to come back here. It's quite one of my favourite locations, to be fair. And I'm sure it's some of these guys' favourite locations as well. Alex, the skeptic's been touched tonight. He feels like someone's physically touched him. I've had it done to me, and I'm pretty certain the other guys have as well. When something touches you, when it's young, there's no one around you. How do you explain that? When you can physically feel yourself move. I just feel like whoever were here is looking for Mark. So I think Mark should come here right now, and we should leave him in this room and just see if he gets a reaction. Because if he does, maybe the spirit will show itself on the mirror. Because I think that's something different that we're going to try. We're going to record it ourselves for a few moments, a couple of minutes, see if we get anything, and then we might come back and do it live and see if you guys can pick up any spirits coming through. And obviously, if you do, please screenshot that image, save it, and then send it to soulreaperparanormal@gmail.com, or post it to the Facebook, Twitter page, or Instagram page, and we'll have a look at that and we'll get it up. Because I feel like whatever we're here is waiting for someone else. That's my honest belief. It's just a strange old place. I feel so relaxed, it's unbelievable. Yeah. Oh.
I think, guys,
Did that happen?
just before we do go through anything that did happen,
What have it been?
what did you hear? What did you think happened?
I don't know. I felt like someone was stood here outside of me. Like,
Alright.
I felt like I could feel them. I don't know. I don't know if it's right.
Did you hear anything?
No.
Didn't hear
I
anything.
felt like I thought I heard a noise over there,
What did it sound like?
like someone walking or something, like a door.
Were it footsteps creaking? Or?
Like it was something weird. I can't remember right without watching it, but I think I jumped up and like, I just heard something over there. Like I heard somewhere, but I don't know if it was.
There was a scream.
A scream.
A scream. Fans have been commenting on it.
Shut up.
And we heard
No
it in
way.
there. There were. You can hear
What,
it.
like proper scream? Did you hear it?
Yeah, we heard it in there. I went to Jason. We've been sitting on the bed and went, whoa, what's that? What's that? And
Like a proper scream.
it was like in the bar downstairs. And
There's no one here. That bar's shut.
No.
A man in the
Yeah.
bar, and he's probably gone.
that's
In
it.
fact, he went up to room 6 when we went.
We didn't think that you heard
Yeah.
it because you didn't react to it. But there was a definite scream. We know there is a woman that's been seen here who's been looking for a child. Don't know if
Is-
that's
is
her
she-
screaming.
Is
across
this the
the
scream
building.
from Spirit Box?
Could be.
This is it.
It could be.
So we could only identify that as feedback, but unfortunately we've got no microphone attached to those spirit boxes, so it's obviously manipulation from spirits.
We have got 3 cameras, including the one that we're going live on, set up in this room, on every area of this room, so hopefully we will catch some on there. But yeah, there was a definite screen.
So y'all heard that?
We did. We definitely did.
The only thing I got was I felt like someone was stood here outside of me.
And
I
it
genuinely felt like they were there, and I was like,
It
whoa.
seems to be from left hand side of the room, doesn't it?
It was a very dark
You've
shadow,
got to
getting
get-
bigger and bigger at this
What
side. Yeah, a lot of people, again, a big comment, and I've been reading through those comments, thank you very much for that. It looks like the torch battery is dying. Like,
Yeah.
we've put 2 fresh batteries in there, you're asking to communicate, and I don't know what it's taking energy from. But I can guarantee you they were fresh batteries that were bought early today from B&M. So they are straight fresh. We can't explain that.
So we had some interesting things happen on more or less anyone's.
Definitely
So
changing my
are you-
opinion on things.
Are you good to go again?
Well,
You have to.
I've got the unanimous vote, haven't I?
So
yeah.
let's see, send down while I'm to talk to my pee pants. Thank you for watching. Oh, sorry.
Why you
Thank
giving
you.
me
I
your
found a
hand?
light bulb.
That way you fit over my hair.
You
Did
do
you
an
just-
interview with me. I'm going to head back over. I'm going to the toilet. I'll meet you in a minute.
Yep. So, guys, I'd like to thank you for voting me in. Take back seat in that
thank you?
chair again. Yeah, I'll say thank you. It's I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little bit worried, but it's your vote, so that's what's going through. Okay, so I'm gonna take my seat in the chair. I'm going to place myself exactly where I were before. The REM pod's going to be situated on the bed. There's going to be obviously the trigger devices behind me. There's going to be the dominoes, the cross, the little balls. There's going to be the chairs. On the other side, there's chairs. There's a ball. There's a compass as well. Obviously, we'll review that footage on the compass as well. And let's see what happens, guys.
And we have got, again, we've set this up. We have got fresh batteries in it, so we are going to get a little bit of a laser grid on there just to see if anything does want to interact with Mark. He is proven very popular in the spirit world. He always is on every investigation we go on. For some reason, they always do want to interact with Mark. No idea why. He don't like it, but we do. We get great results from him. So yeah, we're gonna sit Mark down. We're gonna get that blindfold on him, and then we're gonna call out. We're gonna see if they are attracted to him. We're gonna see if them REM pods go off. And please, if there are any spirits in here, make him scared.
So just going to make sure that my phone's off. Alex is going to take that with me.
Again? What the hell? No, this is
Alex is going to take that, take my phone with him, just to make sure that obviously there's no interaction and whatnot.
just getting these batteries changed.
So my phone is now switched off.
Right then, guys, just put another completely fresh battery in here. No idea why all those equipment's getting drained. Is it paranormal? Is it rubbish batteries? I don't know. As I said, I am quite sceptic. It could be both, but after being touched on neck earlier, my views are kind of starting to change. So I thought that were going off on its own then, but no, he's just smart doing that.
Yeah.
Right then, we get this set up. Again, this torch, it has got light in it. If that dies, if that goes off, who knows? We are struggling to explain why there's so much power being drained. If there are spirits in here, you are welcome to do that. As I said, we do not mind. If that's your way of communicating, you go for it. Just out of interest, I am going to take the crucifixes with me, just in case it is a very negative energy in here. In case the crucifixes, the religious link, are scaring you off. I am going to take all the crucifixes with me, just so if there are negative energies, they are free to inflict the evilness on Mark, because I'm a good friend.
Thank you. So I've got a secret one attached to my bag as well.
So yeah, he's being honest. We're going to take all protection, because we do sometimes take protection on investigations with us. Just rosemary breeze with quartz on, things like that, other spiritual protection. We are going to take all that out of the room, so if anything evil does want to interact with Mark, they are more than welcome to do so.
Cool. So again, I'd like to say thank you for your vote, guys.
Take a seat, man.
Let's take a seat. TV remote, if it does turn on, is obviously at the side of me to the left. The K2 meter is going to be to the right. And what I'd like to do, the first, first 5 minutes or so, I'd like to put a spirit box application on as well, called Naya the Doll. This has been used by Charlene Law Kemp on an investigation. So just to see if I get anything from that at all. I'm not guaranteed to get anything. It's not saying that I am gonna, but obviously I'd like to just try that, put that out there, just to see if we can get any sort of manipulation. So Alex will set that off. Yeah, just tie it as tight as you can. Oh, I'm in the seat again. A little bit tighter.
And guys, don't forget, please, if you go on Facebook, please like our page, Conjured Souls Paranormal, or our YouTube channel. It's what we're commenting on next door, because we're watching this along with you guys, just to see if we notice any evidence. Just in case anything bad does happen to Mark, we can run in this room straight away, just to stop anything. We are obviously there for him, but we are gonna leave him alone as much as possible. So laser grid, set up a fresh battery in that laser again, just to point that out if anything does happen. We'll know why. And Jace, Kyle, if you're watching next door, start that timer. Catch you in a minute. Take them crucifixes with me. They are leaving the room. Oh.
So guys, the door has just closed. So let's begin. So if there's anybody here with us tonight, any spirits, could you please make contact with any of the devices around me, please? So my previous session you have done. You will come into contact with the REM pod to the right of me. If you could do so again, that would be absolutely fantastic. Spirits, please come forward. Please trigger one of the devices, any of the devices that are around me right now. Whether it is one of the physical devices, so the dominoes, the chairs, any of the clown bouncing balls that are around me, or even one of the REM pod devices, the devices that you can touch and make a noise. Please come into contact with those, just for a little bit of validation that you are there. As you're aware and you already know, I am really open to this. I can understand that tonight has been a little bit stressful for you if you are there, that there has been a lot asked from you, but what you have performed whilst I've been in this room has been absolutely fantastic, and if you could please pursue that whilst I'm in this room and just come into contact with anything in this room at all. So I do know that you are there. I do know that you are there, Spirit. I do know that you are able to make this contact with the devices that we have set up around this room. And I would like you to come forward and do that. Please come forward and do that. Please let your presence be known. Let your presence be known by coming into contact with one of these objects, anything at all. Anything at all. I would really appreciate that. I can understand that whoever's been here before I have pressured you into doing these sort of things, but I come with the greatest respect. Please make yourself known. If not make yourself known to me physically, then maybe speak into the camera. Maybe appear as a shadow on the camera, or a ball of light. Just fly by the camera. Spirit, come forward. Wherever you are in this room, I know you are there. I know that in some crevice, in some corner, some part of this room, you are there. Don't be afraid to come forward. I'm not here to hurt you, I'm not here to harm you. I'm just here to prove that there is some sort of evidence that there is life when you pass over. So for me, that's a really important part of life. So just that proof again, just that little bit of validation, just to let us know as a team, so the public know so everybody knows that there is something after you cross over. Just come into contact with something. You can even touch me. I'm really open to this. Maybe poke, prod, grab me, squeeze me, make the air feel cold around me. Just something. Touch my hair. Yeah.
Coming in, keep your blindfold on. We're trying something. It's not to be aware of. We're just going to try something while you're doing this. Obviously, you guys are reporting shadow beings, etc., and things like that. So I think it's important that we try something a bit different. A lot of people are reporting mists. You might get blinded. Just try not to, you know, concentrate on it. But we're going to see what we pick up. And obviously, guys, if you pick up anything from this, screenshot it and send it to us.
It's been 15 minutes start again.
So just try and keep your eyes out of the eyes for that. Just trying to get the right spot for it. That's me moving that. Right, we're off. You right, yeah?
Yep.
Yep. In fact, I think to make this even more interesting, we're going to do this. Let's try that. Something different.
So if there's any spirits that are present in this room now, I apologise for any interruptance. But like I said before, could you please come forward? Use my energy to manipulate any of the devices around me. I know you have done before, because I've walked away from this session feeling really drained. I walked away from the Ouija board, the session that we did downstairs where we had the name Deborah come forward. I felt really drained to the point where I had to sit down. I had to have some sort of sustenance to regenerate what I were before. Please come forward. Please use my energy. I'm open to this. I'm really open to this. I'd like it if you did so. Like I said again, it's just for that proof, that validation that there is something after death. I'm not sure where the devices are around me, but I'll touch around and I'll feel. So there's a device there. If you could come into contact with that, just make us aware of your presence as you have done before. That would be absolutely fantastic. I would really appreciate it if you could do that. So what I'd like to do, I'd like to use the communication that we had before. So when I were in there prior to this, so I'd like to use 1 beep for yes and 2 beep for no. I know you started to answer my questions before, but unfortunately the session that we had were interrupted. So, did you live here within this building? Did you live here in this establishment? Spirit, come forward and answer my questions, please. I come with the greatest respect. All that I ask is that you answer what I'm asking from you. Please answer my questions. So again, I'll repeat the question and use the device to the right of me to answer those questions. 1 beep for yes and 2 beeps for no. Did you used to live here within this residence? Maybe you'd feel more comfortable speaking into the device that is recording me right now. Did you used to live here? Was this the place that you died? And why are you unable to pass over? There's got to be some sort of reason that your spirit is trapped here. I know that you have the strength to come forward, to touch and manipulate physical being. So please come forward and do that to me. Do that to a device. Do that to any of the objects around me. Come forward, touch one of them, just knock them over. It literally takes a touch of a finger to knock over the dominoes to the right. My first impression that there was a strong being here with me, that there was someone that could manipulate the devices around me. From our second interaction, I'm not getting that. Maybe you're not the being, the spiritual being that I thought you were. Maybe you can't do that. Maybe you're incapable. I don't mean that with any disrespect, but you're not showing me what you're made of. Come forward. Show me what you are made of. Show me why you reside within this residence. I feel that we have some strong connection between one of us, between myself and the spirit world. Come forward and show me that connection. Show me why I feel that way. Touch, grab me, push me, knock the chair, touch the walls, knock on the walls, knock on the floor. Anything at all. There's a window to the right of me. Tap on the window. Maybe there's an attachment to my being. If there is, again, please make yourself known. Like I've said before, I'm really open to this. Come forward, Spirit. Spirit, come forward. Maybe you don't possess the power that I thought you did.
Hey Mark.
Yeah.
Randy there, Val. Went strobe light blasting off while you were there to see if anybody captured any spirits, any shadows, manipulating. I'm going to take this off, we'll have a quick discussion about what's happened, and then we're going to move on. Move on to the next part of this investigation, and we're going to be back shortly, but we're going to perform a zone and mirror scrying session, and then we're going to come back and we're going to do one live, and we're looking at doing a spirit box at some point as well, aren't we?
Yep.
So let's see what happens. Just wait for Jason to come.
A lot
and
of
then,
people were saying that it's getting very dark in this room.
you feel
I think I did that a bit tired. You've got a lot
Yeah.
around your face.
sorry about that.
Yeah.
What's that?
I felt like a heavy feeling that come over me.
I felt right at peace, mate, but it's weird.
I got tickled on my neck. What's all that about that?
So obviously, guys, people that just joined, this is Conjured Souls. It's a newly formed team. It's a lot of people that I know. And as you know, Jason used to be in Soul with Paranormal. He's moved on. I've helped him out and joined them tonight to get the name out here. But yeah, we've got a lot of ideas what we want to do tonight. We're here. We've paid to come to this location and we want to make the best at time that we're here. And as you guys know, people that's watched my videos, I started off with just a spirit box in a bedroom. That is it, a PSP-7, one of the best devices I've ever used. I've had full-blown sentences.
You feel lose your seat.
Full-blown sentences coming through on multiple sweeps. Like, genuine, my family come from Newcastle. I had Geordies come through. Do we scare you, pet?
I don't know, to me, there's so much. There's something there with spirit boxes. It's like a new form of communication.
There is a certain frequency that people have discovered, and if you hit that frequency, you get that direct communication that you're worrying about. You know, when you hit that spot and you get that.
Yeah, it's like the sweet spot of paranormal.
That's what
You
it is.
get it. I mean, sometimes you get a lot of like radio interference, and yeah, your mind can say it's something, but 99% of the time it won't be anything. It'll just be clips, snippets from radio. But that sometimes it will hit a certain frequency, and I've noticed that it'll like stop, and then you'll get a sentence come through, and it'll be valid to what you were asking. That is what we're looking for. We're in ITC communication now. Obviously, when I come into Soul Reaper, I knew very little about it. And obviously, one of the first pieces of equipment Kyle started using, PSB7. Now, obviously, he showed me how this works and everything. We've had some fantastic responses on it, haven't we?
You guys know a guy called Order of Magnitude. He's one of the guys that identified the magnitude mode of the PSB7. And basically, what you do, guys, is you change your frequency of the PSB7 to AM. I think it's 200 sweeps. You go forward and you hit that certain spot, and then you get no static whatsoever. It just goes, and then you get a full-blown reply every single time. About between 700 and 900, you'll get a reply. I've had full-blown conversations with people that's not here. I've had messages from people that's died. I've communicated with people that's not even here.
But for me, if you watch some videos, what you've got within paranormal community with the PSB7 itself, it's one of the most convincing spirit boxes as regards to responses that I've ever seen. I mean, everyone's got their own version who makes spirit boxes, haven't they? Now, this is PSB11. This is like this is like the PSB7's bigger brother. So basically, as SB7 has got one sweep, this has got multiple sweeps. So it's got the AM mode, the FM mode. You can obviously change speed that it's sweeping at. You can sweep forwards, you can sweep backwards, you can sweep AM in backwards, FM in forwards, whichever, right? But there's so many different ways you can use it. It's finding that sweet spot, isn't it, Kyle?
But best thing you can do with that device as well as guys, you don't have to sweep in AM and FM. You can sweep in AM forwards and you can sweep in AM reverse. So you get in all frequencies, you go together. But
there's so many different frequencies on it, but it's finding that one frequency what gets it all.
But a few years ago, I did an experiment and I combined two PSB7s together, and I had one going forwards and one going backwards at the same time, which was literally a PSB11. I don't know if it existed at the time that I did it, but we were doing the same thing through one of them connectors that go to both devices, and we were getting both come through. And that were in Sheffield at Fawn Seat Lodge. It's a place we went to the other day, and when we got there, it's been rigged up, it's cambered up. There's no way you can get in anymore. We're doing a lot of work on that place. But what we're going to do now, guys, is basically we're going to tidy up a bit. We're going to get us gear together, and we're going to look at doing a bit of mirror ITC, something we've not done before live. So we're going to test it out for ourselves first. We're going to see if we can get anything. This is something I did at Catterick. Across from the race course, there's an old inn that's abandoned. I went inside, I went upstairs with Elemental Encounters at the time. They used to be part of my team. And there were a crucifix. There was a satanic, what's it called, star, mirror,
pentagon, is it?
Yeah, pentagram, a candle that big, that fat, and we're taking pictures in mirror over and over again, and not happened. And all of a sudden we heard an hoover come on, like someone were hoovering up. This place has been abandoned for years. There were nobody there, no one whatsoever. And when I take pictures, I was taking photos after photos. As you know me, I do it every investigation. And we look back. Well, someone stood in the mirror in a pink t-shirt, a polo top, a bit like what you've got on, but pink, and it should have been there. But this person was just plodding along over.
But that is the kind of thing that we're looking for. Obviously, we tried some mirror scrying, and in fact, Alex wasn't on this previous investigation. There were me, Matthew, who's my brother. He's part of Conjure Souls, but he's not here tonight. And there were Alex.
Where's he here?
What is it right for?
I can't read it, it's gone.
Yeah, it's quite red actually.
I did feel it on my hands.
Yeah,
look at that camera again. Look how red his ears gone. Turn around.
Can I remember that burning sensation I talked about?
Oh my god, that is like blood red. I swear to God.
I know I've got
something's been tugging on Alex's ear.
Well, I know I've got quite curly hair, but I don't know if you can see that.
That is raw, mate. That is like red raw. But yeah.
Back onto the subject anyway. What I was trying to get out there is There were me, Amati, Mark. There were just us three. We went to a place called Church Fenton, which is an old abandoned RAF camp, which has had some unexplainable, magnificent things happen on it.
One of the main places where I call that spirited RAF soldier, airman, full-blown uniform. As soon as I flashed camera, I saw him. But I wasn't the only person that saw him that night. Danny, who used to be in team, actually saw that guy, fully fledged, stood there. And as I took picture, he looked straight at me. He touched me out back. He spoke to me that night. It's all on camera. He blew a candle out. He lit them back up on command. It was just unbelievable.
I mean,
most interesting places. And then I got that. Last time I went, we had Andy from Elemental Encounters. We got that little like imp thing.
Oh yeah.
Smiley face. It looked like you'd scribbled it on with a pen, like a cartoon character.
It's just unreal things that you get. But obviously, I've seen this when I've joined Soul Reaper, and it's been most convincing evidence that I've actually seen Church Fenton. So it won't be on the list. These guys had done it shortly before I left Soul Reaper, though obviously him and his cousin Andy and Elemental, but they're looking for a different type of spirit. They're looking for the elemental.
They're looking for a different dimension.
Like basically stuff to do with the earth.
You have to think, some of these woods that people go to in search of elementals, right? These woods are older than us as
Oh yeah, definitely.
These have been here before we even existed. So some of these, probably not woods around here, but there is forests and places like that that's just unbelievable. Like Cottingley Fairies, you know, they're kind of an elemental spirit.
I mean, a fairy's real. Why wouldn't they be? Why shouldn't they be?
Andy's got a million different photos.
Yeah,
and,
honestly, you want to check them guys out. Elemental Encounters. He has some unbelievable pictures, doesn't he?
Yeah,
but
he was one of the main guys that captured them things on my Instagram, and some of them are just stunning.
Back to the subject, anyway. The thing what I was getting at is scrying. Is it some sort of witchcraft or
basically
black magic?
Scrying goes back thousands of years.
Black mirrors, isn't it?
Greeks used to use water scrying. It's like either you always see it in the films, they're stirring some water. This is what's going to happen. This is what passed. This is what's going to happen to you.
It brings us on to another subject of your obviously water ITC that you conduct.
I do a lot of water ITC, guys. You've probably seen my pictures. There's something coming up soon, and I'm pretty sure you'll all see it. I'm not going to mention it until you see that. Basically, I found out that I was a water sign from a star sign. I'm related to water, Scorpio. I'm really good at communicating with spirits through water. I literally bounce light from the sun on a chrome bowl of water. I hit the light perfectly. I move the water, and I take numerous photos. When I look through 200 or 300 photos, there's naturally a full-blown figure stood there. You've seen it.
Yeah, I've seen it with my own eyes. The things that he gets are amazing. You need to check it out.
I've seen cars. I've seen people in cities. I've seen things in water that's like...
I mean, what is this? Is it some sort of sign? Is it another dimension? We just don't know.
Is it just water's one of the most powerful elements in the world? Is this a way that... We're made up of 90% water anyway.
Yeah, it's true.
95% water. Is it a connection? We don't know. This is the best thing about this game, guys.
So that's what I mean. Obviously, paranormal starts off here. Boosh. It opens a world of possibilities. As you can see, we have talked about mirror scrying. It's led on to elemental. It's led on to water ITC, and it's just going up and up. There's so many branches to this paranormal tree that we're exploring. And that's what we want to show the world, that there's life. If there's life, why cannot there be life when you die? Something has brought us here. Something has made us.
You've got to ask yourself.
You know what I mean?
You've got to ask yourself that question straight away, right? All life's energy. Energy can never die. It just changes forms. If you die, you go back into earth. You turn into, I don't know if you turn into gas, if you turn into soil or whatever it is. You're changing all the time. It never can go ever, and that's the best thing about this. But what about you tonight? What have you experienced out different? Have you felt more?
Wow.
Have you, obviously, this is skeptic, a conjured souls. He's here to believe, but he needs to see it in his own face.
Which is same for anybody, to be fair. You need, obviously,
it's always good to have someone like that.
Yeah, but Kyle, we could show these guys the most convincing evidence that anyone has ever seen in the face of man. But unless you have seen it yourself with your own eyes, or you experienced it, you're always going to have that little niggling thing at the back of your mind saying, is it real? What if? What if? What if? But if you're actually there and you've seen it with your own eyes, you've witnessed it, you've got to see it to believe it. That's what it is.
What about you? Let's hear your words tonight.
Obviously, now it's not over. So I'm not going to give a solid yes or no decision yet, but what I will say is, looking at things in the past, everyone's seen them videos of Most Haunted when they were growing up, when they were on
We
telly.
all grew up to that, didn't we?
Yeah, when you have ping pong balls like going across the room, can't be explained. You have things falling over. Everyone looks at that with a logical mind and says, "No, they're faking it. No, they're faking it. They want to get views. They want to get money off of TV shows, YouTube, what have you." But what I can 100% say tonight, none of that has been faked. Everything that's gone on, I've physically seen something fly across the room towards Mark. Whether that was in a positive way or whether that was just something trying to express the frustration. The Ouija board downstairs, none of us were manipulating that. I definitely weren't, because I didn't believe it. But what I can say tonight is this is the most convincing evidence I've personally seen towards the existence of something above my control.
What I want to say is about marbles, right? Most Haunted are well known for faking things at East Drive. That's an house I've spent 4 times at. I once did it with the Ouija brothers last year. I think it was New Year's Day. And I was about to do a lone vigil in the coal shed. And just as I was going up, we set a camera up inside ready to record me for my lone vigil. Steve from a Ouija brothers was sat in the living room. Just as I went in, I just heard this ting. I'm like, what is that? I looked down and there were a marble spinning on the floor. I swear to God, it was like, what the hell? So I shouted at Steve and he come in. He looked down and that marble was it was spinning in a circle on a flat floor. It was just going like, I was like, what has gone off? And then I instantly thought, are they right? This marble was there. I don't believe a thing about knives sticking up and that, but that marble appeared out of thin air. I was there on my own and it was spinning.
Thing is, for me,
I didn't have for the start, I didn't have a marble. It was just going.
For me, thing is with Most Haunted, right? Obviously there's parts of it I believe, there's parts of it I don't believe, just like anyone. But it's like, I've been on plenty, and I mean plenty of paranormal investigations, right? And not once, from what I'm aware of, have I actually ever physically been taken over by something. Like, obviously,
I haven't. I've had some bad times.
Most Haunted come in there, there's Derek O'Connor or whatever, they sat there, next thing you know, he's possessed. He's got some sort of spirit, whatever. Do you know what, for me, I'd love that to actually happen, just to experience it, so I know that it is possible.
I want to add something.
I can't say it is.
I want to add something to that, though. I mean, we did a point in Surrey, we did it for ages. We went out with no protection, none of this. We just went out blank.
I know where he's getting it here.
We've had no happen, right? We've had no happen to us at all. Nothing, not a thing. We've gone out, we've been touched by spirits. We might have, like, done stuff, you know, lost money and blah, 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 but no bad. And then that night I ended up in hospital. I thought I'd lost my cross and blah, 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 blah. Anyway, when time come and I went to collect my things from police station that took off me that night, my cross were actually in that bag. I was wearing it that night. It's someone stopped me from dying that night. Was it that I had on my neck? The last place I went was St Michael's in Sheffield, where it come through. Archangel Michael is watching you, and that feather floated down on camera out of thin air. It floated down in front of us.
Yeah.
That was the last place I went, and then I ended up in hospital for a month in a coma with a bleed on my brain and a fractured skull. Well, that
which we do believe to be paranormal. Obviously, you can't say somebody's ended up in a
middle
coma
of
or
nowhere.
whatever.
Middle of nowhere.
But it was basically what we believe was some sort of latching spiritual attachment was something on our team. We don't know if Kyle's fetched it. We don't know if I've fetched it. We don't know if Mark, James, whoever. At the time, there were bad things happening to a lot of people in that team, weren't there?
A lot of us got a bad stuff happen.
We had to get another team. I don't know if it's okay to mention that team. No, I'll not mention who that team is, but we had to get another team in. And basically, they've got members of that team. They've practiced demonology and different various forms of like exorcisms and stuff like this, what you do at the Vatican in Italy. They've got all this spiritual like knowledge, and they did some sort of stuff we saw some stuff what were unbelievable. There's no ifs or buts, no way you can explain what they did for us that night. But I can tell you something, they did something for us that night, and ever since that night, everything what bad has happened is stopped. I mean, since 2019 has come along, this has been the most positive year for me, our team, and obviously for Soul Reaper. That's been yet, hasn't it? We've had no bad luck, no, nothing, have we?
Since that's happened to us and we all got blessed in the house, we saw something cowering under holy water. It was just a stick figure on Connect camera, and this is nowhere to lie. It was stood there,
and we all saw it. There were at least 6, 7 of us saw this with our own eyes.
Full blown water splashed on it. All of a sudden, as soon as that water,
Told you the story earlier,
its
didn't I?
hands expanded and it was cowering down.
It was like this, in
It
the
was
corner.
scared, and then it would stand back up, and then it'd do it again, and it was going down. It was the weirdest thing I've ever seen. And this thing, you even show that Sophie, it lay down, it crossed its legs like that, and we were
Yeah,
like,
it
what
was
is
sat,
it doing?
there was a settee. Me,
Honestly.
Kyle,
Yeah.
nobody on the settee. Connect sensor. There was my stick man for me where I sat there. Kyle stick man. Something else in the corner. Right? It sat there, crossed its legs like that. And then it started getting all the water splashed on it and stuff, and it was cowering, it was getting smaller. So it was showing us that there was something. I mean, I explained the story to Alex earlier, and obviously it sounds so far-fetched, it's unreal. But it's one of them things where you have to see it to believe it. And when you've seen it, it just opens your eyes to another world completely, like what everything you believe in, it just blows your mind.
But on that note, look, we've been going for what's that say? How long is that? 2 hours, 30 minutes.
Yep.
We need to cut this short now. We need to conduct this investigation further. We'll be back shortly when we decide what we're going to do. But I'm thinking a live mirror screen session for me once we've done it.
100%.
Well, Kyle's decided on live mirror screen session, so we're going to do that for definite. What we would like from you is to put your comments on. Tell us what you actually want us to do. Tell us what you'd like to see us do. Obviously, paranormal only. But yeah. It's right though, isn't it?
Right.
I mean,
Why?
Jesus, you get some people on here
No.
and you won't believe the things that they ask you to do.
Yeah, guys. So that's really.
See you on the other side.
And don't forget to subscribe to Conjure